I woke up to the sound of my closet door creaking open. At first, I thought I was dreaming. My room was dark except for the dim glow of my phone screen, which had fallen onto my bed, still playing a podcast. But as my eyes adjusted, I saw it, a shadow standing inside my closet. For a split second, my body froze, my brain struggling to process what I was seeing. Then, the shadow moved. A hand reached out, and in the faint glow of my phone, I saw her face. It was Chloe, my best friend. I screamed, scrambling backward, nearly falling out of bed. My heart was hammering so loudly I thought it would burst. Chloe didn't react. She just stood there, staring at me, her arms limp at her sides. "Chloe." My voice shook. "What the hell are you doing?" She blinked, her head tilted slightly. Then, in the softest voice, she whispered, "I just wanted to watch you sleep." My blood ran cold. I lunged for the bedside lamp, fumbling with the switch. The second light flooded the room. She flinched, stepping backward into the shadows of my closet. "Get out," I gasped. She smiled, a slow, unnatural smile that didn't reach her eyes. Then she turned and slipped back into the closet. I bolted out of bed, yanked the door open, but it was empty. She was gone. The clothes swayed slightly on their hangers, as if someone had just moved through them. But there was nowhere to go. I stood there, panting, my pulse thudding in my ears. I didn't sleep for the rest of the night. The next morning, I confronted Chloe. She acted completely normal. She laughed when I told her what happened. "I must have been sleepwalking," she said. "I've never done that before." But something in her eyes told me she wasn't surprised. That was when I started noticing things. Little things. My pillows shifted when I woke up. My closet door slightly opened when I was sure I had closed it. My phone battery drained overnight, as if someone had been using it while I slept. Then, one night, I woke up to the sound of whispering. Soft. Close. I turned over, reaching for my lamp. Chloe was standing next to my bed, holding my phone. She was scrolling through my messages, her lips moving silently as if she were reading them aloud to herself. She looked down at me, and in the faint glow of the screen, I saw it. She was smiling, not in a friendly way, in a hungry way, like she had just read something she wasn't supposed to. I finally snapped. "What the hell is wrong with you?" I shouted, sitting up. She didn't blink. Instead, she slowly turned the phone around so I could see the screen. She had been texting someone, under my name. I felt sick. I snatched the phone from her hands and looked at the messages. She had been messaging my mom, telling her I wasn't coming home, that I decided to move far away, that I didn't want to talk anymore. My hand shook. I looked up at her. "Why? Why would you do this?" She tilted her head. "Because you don't need them. You only need me." My breath caught in my throat. "Chloe, you need help." Her smile faded, and then she lunged. I don't remember exactly what happened. My mind was pure panic. I shoved her, knocking her off balance, and sprinted for the door. I didn't stop running until I was outside, gasping for air, my phone clutched in my shaking hands. I blocked her number. I never went back to that apartment. Chloe disappeared after that. She moved out, deleted her social media, never contacted me again. But sometimes, late at night, when I wake up and reach for my phone, I feel a deep, sickening dread. Because I wonder, how long had she been watching me before I caught her? Story 2. I woke up to the sound of my bedroom door clicking shut. I shot up in bed, heart pounding, scanning the dark room. My curtains swayed slightly, even though the window was shut. The air felt off. For a moment, I thought I had dreamed it, that I was just paranoid. Then I saw it. My closet door was open, just a crack. I always kept it closed. Always. A deep chill ran down my spine. My eyes darted to my bedroom door, the same door I had locked before going to sleep. I reached for my phone, my fingers trembling, and turned on the flashlight. Slowly, I aimed it at the closet. And there, in the tiny gap between the door and the frame, and I was staring at me. I screamed, kicking backward off my bed, scrambling to my feet. My heart was slamming against my ribs. The closet door creaked open, and Noah stepped out. My best friend. His hair was disheveled, his eyes wide and unblinking. He wasn't wearing shoes, just standing there, in my room, in the middle of the night. "Noah." My voice was barely a whisper. He tilted his head, grinning. "I didn't mean to wake you." My skin crawled. I took a step back, keeping my flashlight on him. "What the hell are you doing in my closet?" His expression didn't change. He just kept smiling. "I just wanted to be here." I ran. I didn't think. Didn't ask. I bolted past him, yanked open my bedroom door, and sprinted down the hallway. I could hear his footsteps behind me. Fast. Too fast. I barely made it to the front door before his hand grabbed my wrist. I spun around, yanking myself free, my breath ragged. His face was inches from mine. His pupils were huge, his breathing calm. Too calm. "You're acting weird," he murmured. "I'm acting weird. You were in my closet." My voice was shaking. He stared at me for a long moment, then sighed, like I was the one being unreasonable. "You left the back door unlocked," he said. "So I just let myself in." The back door? My stomach twisted. I had checked the back door before bed. It was locked, which meant he had unlocked it. I didn't say anything. I just backed away slowly, keeping my eyes on him. Noah's smile returned. "I didn't mean to scare you," he said. I like watching you sleep." My blood turned to ice. I ran. I ran out of my own house and down the street, barefoot, my heart slamming against my ribs. I didn't stop until I was outside my neighbor's house, banging on the door. They let me in, called the police. But by the time they arrived, Noah was gone. No sign of him. Nothing missing. Nothing broken. Just an open closet door. I changed my locks the next day, blocked his number, deleted everything. But 3 nights later, I woke up again. Not to a sound, not to movement, just to a feeling, like I was being watched. I turned my head slowly, and in the darkness of my room, just beyond the glow of my nightlight, I saw a shadow standing outside my window, smiling. Story 3. I should have ended the friendship months ago. But cutting someone out of your life isn't as easy as people make it sound, especially when you've known them for years, especially when they know everything about you, especially when they won't let go. Megan and I had been best friends since high school. She was always a little intense, overly attached, overly involved in my life, but I brushed it off. That was just Megan. She was clingy, but she was also loyal. Or at least, I thought she was. Then, little things started happening. At first, it was just weird coincidences. I'd be texting someone new, and suddenly, Megan would know all about them. I'd make plans without her, and somehow, she'd show up wherever I was going. "You never told me you were coming here," I'd say, laughing nervously. She'd just smile. I had a feeling. I tried ignoring it, but then it got worse. One day, I opened my laptop, and my password didn't work. I tried again, and again, locked out. I didn't think much of it until I got an email. "Password change request confirmed." My stomach dropped. I never changed my password. I grabbed my phone, my hands shaking, and texted Megan. "Me, did you do something to my laptop?" "Megan, LOL, why would you think that?" "Me, Megan, maybe this is a sign that you shouldn't keep secrets from me." My blood turned to ice. I called her. No answer. I called again. Finally, she picked up. Her voice was calm. "I'm just making sure we stay close," she said. "You've been distant lately." I hung up, blocked her, changed everything. That should have been the end of it. It wasn't. That night, I fell asleep with my door locked. At 3:12 a.m., I woke up. Not from a sound, not from a nightmare, from a feeling, a presence. I turned over, groggy, my vision adjusting to the dark. Megan was sitting in the chair across from my bed, watching me. I screamed, jumped out of bed, scrambling for my phone. My heart was hammering so hard it felt like it would explode. Megan just sat there, calm, unbothered, like this was normal. "How did you get in here?" I gasped. She smiled. "You always hide the spare key in the same place." I felt sick. "You can't just..." I choked on my words. "You need to leave." She tilted her head. "I was just checking on you." I backed toward the door. "Get out, Megan. Now." She stood up slowly. And then, she reached into her pocket. My breath caught. She pulled out my old phone, the one I had thrown away weeks ago. "I was going to surprise you," she said, flipping it open. "Look, I saved all your messages, just in case you ever forget what we have." I felt like I was going to throw up. I lunged for the door, yanked it open, and ran into the hallway. I grabbed my keys, my shoes, anything I could, and bolted out of my own apartment. I never went back. I filed a restraining order the next day. She was gone by the time the cops went to check my place. No sign of her. But a week later, I got a package in the mail. No return address. No note. Just a framed picture of me, sleeping, taken from inside my room. Story 4. It started with a missing sock. I know, that sounds ridiculous. But it was the first thing I noticed. Small, insignificant. I did laundry, and one sock was gone. Then a t-shirt. Then a pair of earrings. At first, I assumed I had misplaced them. I was busy with work, exhausted most days. Things get lost, right? Then, I started waking up to things being moved. My phone wasn't on the nightstand where I left it. My closet door, which I always kept shut, was open in the morning. A glass I had left in the kitchen was next to my bed when I woke up. I thought I was losing my mind. Then, one night, my laptop vanished. I tore my apartment apart looking for it, but it was nowhere. That's when I decided to check the security cameras. I had installed a cheap indoor camera in my living room months ago, just as a precaution. It was motion activated, linked to my phone. I opened the app, scrolling through the footage, and my blood ran cold. There was a person in my apartment. Not a burglar. Not some random intruder. My best friend, Danny. At 2:47 a.m., the camera caught her unlocking my front door with a key. She stepped inside silently, barefoot, her hair a mess. She was carrying my laptop. She walked straight to my bedroom. The video cut off there. I felt sick. She had been inside my room. I called her immediately, my hands shaking. She picked up on the third ring. "Hey," she answered, her voice light. "What's up?" I took a deep breath. "Danny, where's my laptop?" Silence. Then, she giggled. I clenched my teeth. "Why were you in my apartment last night?" She sighed dramatically. "You always overreact." "Overreact?" I hissed. "You broke into my apartment." "I didn't break in," she said, her voice eerily calm. "I used the key you gave me." "I never gave you a key." She laughed again. "Sure you did. A long time ago." I felt sick. "You need to give it back," I said, forcing my voice to stay steady. She made a small sound. "I don't think you really mean that." I froze. "What? You don't want me to go? You need me." My stomach twisted. "Danny, I mean, think about it." Her voice was light, casual. "Who else is looking out for you? Who else is watching you sleep?" I almost dropped the phone. My hands started shaking violently. "What did you just say?" I whispered. She let out a soft breath. "I think you heard me." I hung up. I grabbed my purse, my keys, and ran out of my apartment. I drove straight to my parents' house and told them everything. When we went back the next morning, Danny was gone. So was my laptop. So was my spare key. But nothing else had been taken. Just small things. A sweater. A ring. A picture of me from my nightstand. I changed my locks. Blocked her number. Filed a police report. But every few months, I noticed something strange. Something small. A piece of jewelry missing. A closet door slightly open. A text from an unknown number. I'm still watching. Story 5. I found the hidden camera completely by accident. It was tucked inside a book on my shelf, the lens barely visible through a small cutout. If I hadn't been dusting, I never would have noticed it. For a moment, I just stared at it. My mind refused to process what I was seeing. Then, my stomach dropped. Someone had been watching me. I snatched the book off the shelf and ripped it open. Inside, the tiny camera's light blinked once before going dark. My hands were shaking violently as I turned it over, looking for any kind of marking, anything that would tell me who put this here. Then I saw it. A small piece of tape on the bottom, and written in familiar handwriting. "For Alex. From your best friend." My whole body went cold. I knew that handwriting. It was Liam's. My best friend. The guy I had trusted for over 10 years. The guy who had his own apartment and no reason to ever be in my bedroom alone. I felt like I was going to throw up. I immediately grabbed my phone and called him. It rang once. Twice. Then he picked up. "Hey, what's up?" I clenched my teeth. "Liam, why the hell is there a hidden camera in my room?" Silence. Then, in the calmest voice I had ever heard, he said, "Oh, you found it. You found it. Like this was normal. Like this was a game." My hands shook with rage. "How long has it been there?" He sighed, almost like he was disappointed. "I just wanted to keep you safe." I felt sick. "You don't even lock your doors half the time," he continued. "And what if something happened to you? I just needed to be sure you were okay." I hung up. I didn't think. I didn't ask. I just grabbed my keys and drove straight to his apartment. I banged on the door. Hard. "Open the door, Liam." No answer. I kept knocking. Nothing. Then my phone buzzed. A text. Unknown number. "You shouldn't have found that." My skin crawled. I turned to leave, but then I noticed something. His mailbox was open, and inside, there was a small padded envelope. My name was on it. I pulled it out, my fingers trembling, and tore it open. Inside was a flash drive. No note. No explanation. Just a single USB drive labeled "For You." I drove home as fast as I could. My heart was racing as I plugged the flash drive into my laptop. A single video file popped up. I clicked on it, and my breath stopped. It was footage of me, sleeping, eating, reading, in my bedroom, in my kitchen, in my living room. Some clips were from weeks ago. Some were from last night. I slammed the laptop shut, my stomach churning. Liam had been watching me for months, recording me, inside my own home. I called the police. By the time they went to his apartment, he was gone. No sign of him. No answers. But before he disappeared, he left one last gift in my mailbox. A Polaroid of me, asleep in my bed, with a shadow standing in the doorway, smiling.